Comes to a P. Diddy party. This is what happens to the white man. When they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to them.
One of comes crashing down. I was up, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice. He's dealt with every challenge in his life, and he's not guilty, he's innocent of these charges. His controversial past now faces questions that could reveal long-buried secrets. For myself, and I think a lot of other people in this industry, it's all a shock. Music. Hey there, everybody. I'm Jessie Weber, and welcome to Prime Crime, where we break down some of the most compelling and memorable true crime cases from across the country. Hollywood celebrities are no strangers to controversies, and they can often become targets due to their high-profile status. But with several allegations now swirling around a famed music producer and hip-hop icon, he may soon have to face the music himself. He used his business and employees of that business, along with other close associates, to get his way. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Damian Williams, is talking about 54-year-old Sean Combs, aka Diddy, the musician, producer, and business mogul who rose to fame as one of hip-hop's biggest personalities.
Curious, I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
We did it. We did it for the Bronx. Let's go. The key to the city. Yeah. But now Combs is charged in a federal indictment, accused of sex trafficking and racketeering. How did we get here, exactly? To answer that, we have to venture back to Combs' rise among the Hollywood ranks. Diddy was born in Harlem. After his father was murdered, he went to an all-boys Catholic school and then off to Howard University. That's when he started throwing these parties. Diddy was always the life of the party. What's up, y'all? Coming to you here live from London. Extremely humble, grateful, and blessed, just got nominated for a Grammy. Eventually, he obtained an internship at Uptown Records, and that's where his career in music began. Today's honoree is the first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, honoring
$50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did.
As these parties went on, people started noticing some allegedly illegal conduct or nefarious conduct that was...
Not only is he a rapper and music mogul, this individual is a legend. Who knew that this bad boy would turn into a great man? By 1990, he's working as a talent director for Uptown, but he hits it big 3 years later when he starts Bad Boy Entertainment. From there, it just explodes. He's signing big names like Notorious B.I.G., Usher and Mary J. and Lige. It's music, it's fashion, with Sean John, where he's a founder. He was literally at the top of the world when it
was a dispute, and according to at least one of the 3 victims that were shot, Sean Combs is the one that shot that person.
I came here today just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Came to music, entertainment, and alcohol. Anything he touched had the Midas touch. Congratulations, let's get that cheer shot one more time. Cheers. His empire extended well past his rapping career. That's where he was making more of his money off his material empire. He seemed dedicated to being successful in the industry. Instead of following someone around, he decided he would make his own way, and he did. He's also presumably a family man. He has been in some very public relationships, like with Kim Porter and Jennifer Lopez. He has 7 children and takes pride, at least publicly, in being involved as a father. It's no secret how prominent Combs has been in the music and entertainment industries, not just for his work but for spotting talent. At one point, Diddy had his hands on everyone's career. It seemed like every artist on the charts was bad boy.
Law and crime legal alert. A mother was recently awarded millions of dollars in a lawsuit against baby formula manufacturers after her premature baby was diagnosed with necrotizing enterocolitis, or NEC, after receiving a bovine-based formula. The lawsuits allege that Enfamil and Similac premature formulas, they are linked to NEC, but manufacturers, they failed to warn the public of the risks and targeted them with false advertising. So if your premature baby was diagnosed with NEC after they were fed Enfamil or Similac, you may qualify for compensation. And one of our legal sponsors is partnering with Wagstaff Law Firm. This is a national firm renowned for their expertise to ensure that eligible claims are thoroughly presented. Just visit babyformuladamages.com/primecrime to answer less than 10 questions and check.
He makes himself out to be someone people want to be glamorous, flying around on yachts, dressing nice. He was known for throwing legendary parties. But when you create that culture, without boundaries or guidance, things can get extreme. Everybody knew ain't no party like a Diddy party. And as Combs' fame and fortune grew, so did his circle of friends, and word of his notorious parties quickly spread. However, rumors began swirling that these parties, attended by entertainment's biggest names, allegedly had a dark side. I've had to turn down $50 million $4 times to protect my integrity. P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you've got to tell him no. As these parties continued, people started noticing alleged illegal or nefarious conduct taking place. It was a culture of silence that is starting to become apparent, and this is not particular to Diddy alone but to men with power and money. The group that Sean Combs was managing was promoting Don Richard, who was hand-selected by Diddy to be part of this band. What's particularly powerful here is that Don reportedly witnessed violence allegedly committed against Cassie, claiming that she saw Diddy strike Cassie. This act alone could constitute an element of sex trafficking, as it fulfills the requirements of force, fraud, or coercion, this incident being a clear example of force. In a shocking development, Don Richard also claims she witnessed Combs engaging in inappropriate acts with young girls. But the biggest bombshell yet dropped on May 17, 2024, when CNN released surveillance footage from 2016 appearing to show Combs violently assaulting Cassandra Ventura in a hotel hallway. Witnesses reported that when they saw the video of her in that hotel, how Diddy beat her
up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I'm so sorry.
He had to apologize after the video came out, and I'm sure it led federal investigators to think there's a lot more to it. The video corroborated what she was saying. It made Diddy look like a liar.
Coming up.
her, and even kicked her in the face. It shifted the public's perspective entirely. The footage led many to believe there was some truth to these allegations. The video shocked viewers around the world, underscoring the gravity of Cassie's statements and removing any doubt that might have lingered. The weight of this video was not lost on Sean Combs himself, who reacted swiftly with a public apology. I was at rock bottom, and I make no excuses. My behavior in that video is inexcusable, and I take full responsibility for my actions. I was disgusted with myself then, and I still am. I'm deeply sorry, he said, visibly remorseful. Following the release of this video, federal investigators likely saw the gravity of the situation. It seemed to align with Cassie's account and cast serious.
So much for following the Sean Combs case with us. We're going to get right back to this. And look, we put a lot of work into this, and one of the reasons we're able to bring you these stories, go in depth into a story like this, is because of the amazing support that we get from our sponsors. And I have to call out one in particular right now, Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, America's largest injury law firm, maybe who you want in your corner. They have an incredible track record of multi-million-dollar verdicts and settlements. I mean, recently they secured verdicts of $6.8 million in New York, $12 million in Florida, $26 million in Philadelphia. And mind you, these are all considerably higher than the highest insurance offers in these cases. And even if your case isn't worth millions of dollars, Morgan & Morgan will fight for what you deserve. There's no upfront fee. The whole process can be done straight from your smartphone. You can see if you have a case in just 8 clicks or less. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/primecrime.
Doubt on Combs' credibility. Later, breaking news shocked the music industry. Music trailblazer Sean Combs, also known as P. Diddy, has been arrested by authorities in New York City on federal charges. He was taken into custody at the Park Hyatt Hotel this evening. Scene changes to sponsor mention. Hey everyone, thank you so much for following the Sean Combs case with us. We're diving deep into this story, and we couldn't do it without the amazing support of our sponsors, like Morgan. If you're injured, America's largest injury law firm might be just the advocate you need. Recently, they secured multi-million-dollar verdicts in New York, Florida, and Philadelphia, often far exceeding insurance offers. Morgan works for what's fair for you with no upfront fees. You can even start your claim directly from your smartphone at fourthpeople.com.
Contributed so much.
The charges against Combs are severe racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and interstate transportation for prostitution. Just 6 months after authorities raided Combs' property on September 16, 2024, the self-proclaimed bad boy for life found himself under federal arrest.
Diddy's been an icon for
According
decades.
to the indictment, between 2008 and the present, Combs allegedly abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. The indictment claimed that Sean Combs used his vast business empire to carry out these alleged crimes, including sex trafficking, forced labor, and even arson. One particularly shocking detail in the indictment is the alleged freak-offs wild parties where Combs reportedly recorded explicit activities, showing that he believed he was above reproach. Prosecutors allege he used threats and coercion to force victims into extended sexual performances, even transporting some over state lines. The next day, Combs appeared in court with his sons and attorney for a bail hearing. His legal team presented a hefty bail package, including $50 million secured by his Florida properties. The prosecution, however, argued against bail, citing the seriousness of the charges and Combs' potential as a flight risk due to his vast resources and alleged history of intimidating witnesses. The judge ultimately denied Combs' bail request, and he was sent to the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn to await trial. Conditions there are reportedly harsh, a stark contrast to his luxurious lifestyle. The move from multi-million-dollar mansions and private planes to a cramped detention cell was a brutal wake-up call for Combs.
Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bruh. It made him into a monster, bruh. I personally feel like he got a lot of the things that he did from his mentor, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So it's a learned behavior, bruh. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bro. You just don't just turn it in a matter of years the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check this out, bro. He led Biggs to his death. He caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Because you had asked me how I feel, and I'm going to get into how I feel. Took a good friend of ours who raised money when he had the City College tragedy. A good friend of ours did things to make him popular in Harlem. Let him hang with us, be part of our crew the whole 9 yards. Disrespected him and wouldn't help him. This is how I feel about him being locked up and going to jail. Some people, their karma is so strong for what they do and what they did. The stuff that he did to Craig Mack. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he did to Black Rob and all those people in the spiritual world right now. His karma was about to catch up and was bound to catch up with him. You understand what I'm saying? His karma was bound to catch up with him, brother. So all these things that's going on right now, the learned behavior, what he got from these people who was not living spiritually correct with their behaviors and the things that they've done. He go and transfer and do that to people with the fact of all these people that he's hurt, that always helped him and been on his side and been there for him. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bruh. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself because he knew that he was wrong, and he knew that he learned something that wasn't right. He know different from right and wrong, bro. You have a way to change. You know when something is right and when something is wrong, and you know if you're wrong, you get help. He didn't choose none of that, bro. He chose to be who he is, and now he gonna learn.